Long ago, in a quiet village by a winding river, two boys lay beneath a sky brimming with stars. One dreamed of treasure, the other dreamed of strength. Young Thomas, eyes wide with hunger for the world, declared that when he grew up, he would possess enough gold to buy anything he wished. Beside him, young Edmund, whose hands already loved the feel of earth and stone, said he wanted to shape iron, to build things no storm could break. They laughed, sealing their childish pact beneath the moon, and promised that in 10 years they would meet again, at that very spot, to see whose dream had grown the greater. Then they ran barefoot through the fields back to their humble homes, their laughter carried off by the night breeze. Seasons turned, rivers swelled and shrank, and fields yielded their harvests year after year. A decade slipped by, and two young men, changed by time yet bound by boyhood promise, stood once more beneath the old oak tree where their names had been carved long ago. Thomas, now dressed in fine clothes, his shoes polished and a golden cane in hand, grinned at his old friend. Edmund, with arms forged strong by fire and soot still clinging to his sleeves, returned the grin. "You got your gold," Edmund said, clapping Thomas on the shoulder. "And you got your iron," Thomas laughed back. Beneath that tree, they shared simple bread, sharp cheese, and old wine. Just the two of them and the memory of innocent dreams. But the moment was short-lived. A messenger arrived on horseback, bowing low before Thomas and reminding him that the council awaited his decision on the latest tax decree. Thomas sighed, the weight of duty tugging at his fine coat. He begged Edmund to stay the night at his grand house and promised, "Tomorrow, you'll see my world." When dawn spilled over the golden walls of the city, Edmund stood silent in awe. Thomas's halls glittered with imported silks, marble floors gleamed like still water, and servants flitted about like quiet ghosts, bowing low at every turn. A servant asked Edmund whether he preferred rose water or sandalwood for washing. Edmund chuckled and asked for a simple bucket of plain water, confusing the attendant but pleasing himself. In a high-ceilinged chamber, Edmund sat beside Thomas and watched him command wealth and policy with the stroke of a quill. He leaned in close and whispered, "Does all this gold make you free, Thomas?" Thomas paused over a ledger thick with royal seals and gold coins, then murmured, "It buys me everything, except time to breathe." That night, the two friends leaned against the balcony railing, looking out over the flickering lights of the grand city. Thomas turned to Edmund, weary yet eager, and said, "Tomorrow I see your forge." Edmund only smiled and told him to bring no gold, just himself. At dawn, the city behind him, Thomas stepped into Edmund's world, a humble forge alive with sparks, ringing steel, and the steady thud of a hammer striking iron. Sweat beaded on Thomas's brow as he tried his hand at the anvil, feeling the weight of real work for the first time in years. "This work, it feels real," he breathed, wiping his forehead. Edmund, sleeves rolled and arms blackened by soot, nodded without boasting. "It is. My neighbors bring me broken plows, loose hinges, lost hope. I return them whole." Children played outside, their laughter drifting in through the open door. A little boy poked his head in, shy but grinning, and asked Edmund if he could fix his mother's kettle again. Edmund smiled, promised it would be mended before supper, and sent the boy running home with hope in his pocket. As the sun dipped low and painted the forge walls in copper light, Thomas sat beside the fire with Edmund, shaping a tiny bird out of leftover iron scraps. He held it up, eyes wide, not with gold lust, but with quiet wonder. "A piece of iron. Yet it feels worth more than a chest of coins," he whispered. Edmund watched him, proud and calm. "Gold dazzles the eyes," he said, "but iron anchors the soul." When night came and the forge's fire dimmed to embers, Thomas knew his boyhood dream had come true. But so had Edmund's. And now he understood which treasure truly lasted. For in a world of glittering gold and fleeting power, it was hands that built, friendships that endured, and hearts that held tight that made a man truly rich.